Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Commodore PR-100, and first of all a big thank you to Rory who was helping clean out the farmhouse, and he very kindly sent me this calculator in a box of loads of other stuff. So this is the first of many little restorations that we're going to be doing on the channel. So first off, let's find out if this thing works. It's in pretty mucky condition. It's quite dusty and grimy. But let's get the old plug off it, which is a really old, the 3 round pin UK plug, and replace that with a standard modern day plug. Plug in the power supply. And let's, of course, make sure that the power supply is doing what it says on the tin. It looks like it's producing around 9 volts, according to the meter. Happy, happy days. And then let's see if we plug the power supply into the calculator and we switch it on, what happens. Yep, okay, so something's not quite there. I saw a little flash to start off with. But perhaps there's a little bit of a loose connection. Not sure, but there was definitely a little bit of life. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've got life. All right, okay, cool. It seems a little bit unreliable, so clearly we're going to have to take this thing apart, give it a really good clean out. Well, who knows what's wrong with it, but yeah, let's pop the back off and let's have a look inside. I've never been inside one of these calculators before, and on first inspection, I thought I saw some corrosion there. Let's keep going and let's see what we end up with. See if we can get this clamshell case apart. And, oh, there's a bit of an Aztec label that's dropped out. And, yeah, there's a whole hell of a load of corrosion going on in here. This is a real shame. And it's just all over the place. There's this nickel cadmium dust or cadmium dust. I have no idea what it was. Anyway, let's just throw away these rechargeable cells. The nickel cadmium rechargeable cells. Chuck them away. And then I think what we need to do is give this a really, really good clean up, inside and outside. But let's start with the inside and let's see if we can get this thing working a little bit more reliably. It looks as though the keypad pops out of the front clamshell case. Yes, it does. Cool. So let's get that out. And let's see if we can figure out how to get the rest of it out so that we can actually get in there and give it a proper clean up. A little bit sort of scared to bend things too much here, so I'm going very carefully with the ribbon cables there. When these things get old, sometimes they get a little bit brittle. We need to pop that headphone jack out, which is the power supply input. I mean, what a horrible thing to put in there. Ultimately, when you push the jack into the jack socket, it shorts the 2 pins together for a brief moment. How rubbish is that? That's just silly design engineering. Anyway, let's get a paintbrush out. Let's give this thing a proper good rub down and a scrub down. On closer inspection, the PCBs and the chips themselves look like they're in pretty good condition. There's a MOS chip on there, and then there's the CPU chip. And the actual PCB itself, the underside and all of the tracks and the soldering all look like they're in good nick. And then there's that little Aztec a charge controller for the batteries. So I've gone ahead and created a replacement set of nickel cadmium, but actually the nickel metal hydride batteries, but that'll be fine. So we'll get those soldered on, and then I've got a shed load of cotton buds here, and we're just going to get into cleaning this with cotton buds as best we can. Well, there we have it, folks. It's all cleaned up now, and it's time to go back in its shell, and the batteries are wired in place. So let's reassemble all of this. It's a bit fiddly trying to reassemble it because the LED display, if you don't get that on exactly the right angle, it just doesn't all quite fit in. I'm sort of loath to open it now I've got things set up correctly. The other thing is watch out for a few little cables that have a tendency to want to try and escape. So just make sure they're poked neatly in place. And once everything looks like it's back together, get some screws in there. And let's turn this thing on, see what she does, see if we've got it fixed. Well folks, many hot sweaty hours later, and look at this, we now have a battery powered Commodore calculator all up and running, nice and clean, display working, numbers and letters all working, everything's good. I am 100% happy with this. Rory, thank you so much for sending this to me. I really enjoyed this project, and now I'm going to make use of this. I'm going to keep this in my workshop, and I will be using this calculator as my very own personal calculator to do math amazingly. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care, have a wonderful week and weekend, and we'll catch you again in the not too distant future here on Dubious Engineering. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe. Cheers for now.